You thought, I thought, we thought, all of us thought it was over. That just because they dug through the entire thing, that there would be somehow they would they would have found something, but they didn't have to. Ultimately, they're going to hope that their dreams are answered by the IRS. I don't know, but the IRS is supposed to be the big, the big monster on the block, and now it's going to be their salvation. Yeah. So last week, Marjorie Taylor Greene wants the FBI to look into Ali Alexander, when she would be one of the first people they call as a witness against the dude, and her old assistant Milo Yiannopoulos, and her buddy, was it Nick Fuentes, who got his name from someone reading a story about someone shaving a Fuentes at one point. That since the Hunter Biden laptop didn't do shit, and the FBI, I suppose, is busy going after people after they're defunded from whatever, that the IRS, whom they were all high-fiving themselves for, I guess, getting rid of the funding for 87,000, they fired the agents after going after the IRS because the IRS is coming for you. This is their salvation. A whistleblower from the IRS is going to say they slow walked. This isn't moving as fast as it should because of political pressure. That's it. That's the whole thing. Will that change the outcome of it? Nope. Will it affect any of our votes? No. So this is what they've come up with. This is what they come up with, the slow walk. Now, that said, this is a war. This is a what's the word? This is a battleground. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next best thing in egotism to a Donald Trump NFT. The opening graphic of Marjorie Taylor Greene's podcast, MTG Battleground, where the T in this case is it depicts a sword. And she has named her production company for when she gets kicked out of the legislature and goes into podcasting full-time, Front Porch Politics, a Front Porch Politics production. I'm only sad that that you live in the Peachtree State, ma'am. It couldn't be the Peach Porch Politics production. You couldn't go 4Ps. I mean, considering you defrauded the PPP loan system, you couldn't. Is that a fuck you to everybody? She's flaunting it. Porch Politics Production. That's 3Ps. She's saying, I took your PPP money and I made a porch. I bought myself a house. But the Peach Porch Politics Production program that paid for her pusillanimous, pedantic posturing. I did it. Fuck you, ChatGPT. I think we all need to dip into this. Now, there are a couple of sads you might be having. One is, it's a half hour long, so there's no fucking way we're doing the whole thing because she's a lunatic and what a waste of time. And apparently Donald Trump is going to go live in a few minutes at the Lee County GOP dinner. Yes, that's the state of the campaign, folks. The man who gave us 65,000 screaming lunatics gathered together in a way we have not seen since the Nazi stuff that happened in the 30s, gathering at Madison Square Garden. Not since then have we seen huge rallies that any politician would, throw their arm out, patting themselves in the back for. Now he's dwindled down to doing the Lee County GOP dinner. Yes, not just any GOP dinner. One of the least known. It's impressive. It's very impressive. We're gonna have to duck out at some. Well, let's see where he is right now.
Lincoln Reagan dinner. So thank.
Nobody cares.
Letter. You can put in your email, and that will sign you up.
Yeah, and you can get, we can charge y'all for stuff. Get on our mailing list and don't forget to like and subscribe to the House Sparks radio program, Mega Worldwide. I'm just saying, love you. Do it. Subscribe, especially on YouTube. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close. All right. But back to shit. The battleground. When is the battleground going to get in a tiff with the war room? It's going to happen. If I was Steve Bannon, I would sue. I would wash first, and then, of course, I would pay a team of experts to remove all the parasites from my skin, and then I would sue. Very impressive. I think, are y'all, hold on. Does that make you uncomfortable? I just want to make sure nobody, should we give a trigger warning? That was super scary.
Welcome to Battleground MTG. Today we're going to talk about why Republicans fail. And you may have...
All right. I thought she was stealing from the war room. She's stealing my gig. What the shit? I'm suing right now. God damn it. We're closed. Hold on. I've got to go. All right. I can't push my ending button and because I'll knock me out the air. What? Everyone knows. And hey, dum-dum, I have news for you. You're it. All right, here we go. We gonna tell y'all how to do a doody-doo.
Seen clips of this on the news or social media. So let's start with a video to get it started.
Let's start with a video to get it started. If everybody's ready to start, let's start again. And by the way, she's playing her shit about this. Is Eric Swalwell calling out, calls for violence and racism on behalf of the Republican Party on Twitter. And then because I don't have to, you can watch this elsewhere. She jumps in and she goes, I didn't fuck a Chinese spy then or some shit.
People on this committee and their own anti-police rhetoric. This is a defund the FBI campaign.
Yeah, but that was before she wanted them to hunt down Ali Alexander and Nick Fuentes.
Effort.
That was quite entertaining from someone that had a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, and everyone knows it. But
and everyone knows it. No, they fucking don't. By the way, this is from a woman who just got divorced from her husband because she's fucking an RSBN host, among other people. And everyone knows it. For real, though. Especially the dude she's fucking at RSBN. And no, they don't. And anyways, this led to her getting shot.
To take her words down.
Do you ever feel like you're watching this and you're like, there's Congress going on, and then this weird Karen from a school board meeting shows up and start going, I don't want penises in the girls' Kool-Aid. Right.
Completely inappropriate. Yeah, stand by just a second while we research the rule. Give me just a second.
Yeah, the rule, they were looking for the rule that that gives her a moment to call it back so she doesn't get in trouble or have that mark on the record. And if she doesn't, then they just go, well, okay, then fuck you. You can't answer anything the rest of
The chair recognizes the gentlelady from Georgia and asks if she would like to retract those words.
no, I will not.
So you probably saw that happen. This was on...
No, I didn't. We saw a clip of it later. We're not watching you live. No one needs that in their life.
The Homeland Security Committee in our investigation and questioning of Secretary Mayorkas about Biden's border crisis and how Mayorkas has failed as the Secretary of Homeland Security. That started right...
Well, that's what everyone else on the panel was doing or alleging to do if they were on the Republican side. What you were doing was just being a mess.
After Eric Swalwell had used his 5 minutes to attack President Trump and to attack me.
No, he didn't attack you. He pointed out that you literally ran a campaign on a campaign fundraiser on defunding the FBI.
And after Eric Swalwell was finished with his 5 minutes, it was my turn to spend 5 minutes questioning Secretary Mayorkas.
And instead of doing that...
So I started off my 5 minutes by responding to Eric Swalwell and calling out the obvious.
No, just lying about him. Saying something you have no material evidence of and trying to, I guess, score dipshit points.
Now, what's more offensive? I think the question we should ask is what's more offensive?
His truths are your lies? Gee, let me think.
A congressman having a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy?
Or a congressman having a sexual relationship with a sex guru gym instructor, basically anybody in town, anyone in Laura Loomer's Rolodex, and one of the main reporters on RSBN. I mean, he was there. The problem isn't that she's calling out Eric Swalwell for having sex with a Chinese spy. The problem is that he did not. That she has no evidence that he did. And that she is jumping on this this talking point that because it was a young Chinese woman, he had to be fucking her because young Chinese women are nothing but sexual objects. That's the fucked up part.
Or calling it out and saying the truth about it.
You have no evidence to make the assertion that you did. Please, again, please enlighten me. I've been looking all over the fucking place.
Well, according to Benny Thompson and the Democrats yesterday, they found it more offensive that I stated the truth about Eric Swalwell.
What truth would that be?
And this truth is known by everyone.
Is it? Apparently, it would be news to Fang Fang, though.
Let's take a look at Tucker and what he exposed about Eric Swalwell.
Okay, so it's some Tucker Carlson.
So the last director of national intelligence went to Capitol Hill and briefed the intel committees about foreign espionage threats. And at the time, he recommended to the so-called Gang of Eight that Eric Swalwell, the man you just saw, be removed from the House Intel Committee, the most sensitive committee in the House.
During the Trump administration?
Representatives. Why? Because he'd been compromised by China. And that's not an overstatement. A Chinese spy helped get Eric Swalwell elected to the Congress.
Okay, this is just about her bundling so far.
Chinese spy raised money.
Right, she was a bundler for him. And then they came to him and said, hey, we think she's a Chinese spy. And they cut ties with her.
For Eric Swalwell's campaign. A Chinese spy campaigned for Eric Swalwell. A Chinese spy placed staffers in Eric Swalwell's office.
Did he fuck any of those staffers?
But the main problem, and the main problem that the intel community had with Eric Swalwell, is that he had sex with a Chinese spy.
Well,
now, we've made fun of him over the years for this, but it's real. And
well,
Swalwell has never denied it because he can't deny it.
Is there video?
And everyone who's looked into it knows that it's true.
No, we don't. I've been looking into it. Many people looked. Please explain.
So we're not here to cast aspersions on Eric.
Yes, you are. What evidence? You've got a stupid fucking graphic up. What? How?
Eric Swalwell's personal life. But if you're having sex with a Chinese spy.
Yes, if.
Spy, sorry, you can't be on the House Intel Committee. It's that simple.
Oh, all right. I was promised evidence. God damn it. I don't know why I set myself up for disappointment. I had the hope. I had dreams of dreamy dreams that it was finally going to be like, this nails it. Look, here's a love note. Here is he was caught and compromising by the people who watch the Secret Service or somebody, Capitol Police, who protect Congress people, had to guard the door while he was in his Chinese love nest. And it was the year of the rabbit. Oh, the irony.
Well, in my opinion,
Well, in your opinion, in my opinion, that ain't facts. That's the only report I've seen. I'm serious. That is the only report that I've seen, what she just played, where somebody in the news made the allegation as if it was real news instead of just some, like, cutaway bullshit on Twitter. And still it was ass.
you're having a sexual relationship with a Chinese spy, you shouldn't serve on any committees.
Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Bond. You've been having sex with too many Chinese spies. I don't care. That's how you got secrets from them. And I don't care how fun it was.
As a matter of fact, you shouldn't be serving as a United States member of Congress. But unfortunately, I seem to be the only one with that opinion, along with hundreds of millions of other Americans.
I'm the only person with that opinion, along with hundreds of millions of other Americans. Hundreds of millions. I would ask if you would like to go anywhere in the country with me, and we can stand right next to each other, and we can talk to anybody, go up to any person on the street, and go. You can go. Do you think it's all right for a member of Congress to be fucking a Chinese spy like Eric Swalwell was? And they go, no, and I go. I agree that you shouldn't be engaged in that kind of behavior. Do you realize there is no evidence at all to say that he's done that? She has none. She's just making it up. She heard it someplace else, and she wants it to be true, so she's saying it. No, there's no pictures, there's no video, there's no love notes, there's no evidence that we have seen at all. Nor has she seen it, nor has Tucker Carlson seen it. Nobody. As a matter of fact, at best, from that clip we watched, he's getting that rumor secondhand from one of the, like Jim Jordan or one of the friendly Trumpies in Congress from that hearing, because we didn't get to watch it because it was behind the scenes. So they're dropping that, which is exactly what they accused Democrats of doing.
But that's not how Congress works, everyone.
No, it isn't. I guess you can fuck all the news people you want.
And that's not how the Democrats play ball with the Republicans. And unfortunately, Republicans cave nearly every single time. Watch.
Yeah, I will agree with you there. Republicans just worthless. God, just useless. Can't get anything done. Can't govern worth a shit. Spend most of their time blathering about nonsense. Don't draft bills. Couldn't solve a fucking economic math problem to save their life.
That's how the Democrats act. You know what they do?
What do? Well, pass infrastructure bills?
If a Republican happened to be in the same state as a Chinese spy, they'll make that accusation.
That accusation? What? Just by being in the same state? Technically speaking, that's what Eric Swalwell is accused of, being in the same state. I would argue even the city or the same room as this person, and that's what you have to go on.
They'll turn it into truth and spread it all over their state-controlled media.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, it's. I mean, what's the point of having our own pravda if we can't use it? Yes. Especially the Fox News. They help us more than anyone.
And we revealed the truth about a Democrat member of Congress.
Did you? Did you reveal the truth? Or did you talk shit about someone across the room like an asshole with no evidence?
And his known sexual relationship.
Nope.
With a Chinese spy.
Nope.
Benny Thompson and everyone, all the Democrats on the Homeland Committee, feign their outrage, and they are appalled that I would even speak and utter such words on the committee.
In utter such words and some such, and also the Iraq.
You know, Democrats are so pious and righteous. And
Yeah, we're especially the most sanctimoniously religious of us, telling, I don't know, women what to do with their bodies. We're terrible that way. I don't know what came over us.
So they wanted to strike down my words. We had to go through a process yesterday.
Yes, it's a process set up by adults to deal with assholes like you.
After I had only made one statement.
All I did was say something I don't know shit about somebody that was just fucking awful. And they can't all just whatever the fuck. I mean, why can't you do the same shit I talk on Twitter in the halls of Congress? I mean, what's the big deal about this? Why we even got to have this fancy fucking building? Why can't we meet in a tent like real Americans?
Stating the truth and the facts.
All right. That's not a fact. It's an accusation. You need something to back it up, dum-dum.
About Eric Swalwell, stating that it was pretty entertaining for him to spend his 5 minutes attacking President Trump, attacking me personally, impugning my character.
How can you... Wait a minute. He impugned your character. How did he do that? By showing a campaign ad that you ran on defunding the FBI. Showing that impugns your character. Showing your own campaign fundraisers impugns your character. My God, she's so close to it. If only. In one moment, it's just a hair. It's just right there. If she could just take one step forward.
Impugning the character of the 45th president of the United States.
Well, I think calling attention to the lack thereof. If I gotta be, I don't want to nitpick. We'd be here all night.
Not using his 5 minutes to question Secretary Mayorkas about the severe situation at the border.
Oh, it's severe. My God, I thought it was a crisis, but it's just severe.
You know, where we're being invaded by thousands of people every single day.
Yes, I do. I do. Who are we being invaded? They're armed, are they? These toddlers and women seeking asylum. These people trying to sneak across the border so they can work as short order cooks at fucking Mar-a-Lago. Dear God, the invasion to fill jobs we can't fill right now.
Where there's real human trafficking, where there's
real human trafficking. Well, I will say this. Credit where credit is due. When Marge recognizes there is human trafficking at the border, it's a singular moment where at the very least she is recognizing that the people crossing the border are humans. You got to take your wins, folks, where you can.
Sex trafficking.
I mean, you'd have to ask Ted Cruz about that shit. I don't, yeah.
Where they have found 8-year-old little girls with 67 different types of DNA inside her body because...
Jesus Christ. They're not creating... These are superhuman cyborgs. They're doing genetic splicing.
She's been raped 67 times.
Wait, what? Okay. That day? Also, for the record, I'd like to be abundantly clear that this girl crossing the border, Marge thinks she would be better off where she came from, apparently. Where that happened. So I'm starting to get the feeling that this little girl and her mom might be escaping something. You creep.
That's not what Eric Swalwell or Benny Thompson or the Democrats care about.
Yes, your anecdotal, psychotic misunderstanding of a circumstance. I can't imagine why. Have you thought about getting some crayons and toilet paper and writing it down and maybe creating a bill that way?
Talk to Secretary Mayorkas about? No. Eric Swalwell wants to attack President Trump and myself so he can raise money for his campaign.
Oh, so you think it'll be successful, huh? So attacking you and Trump is a moneymaker. Well, shit. I should think about starting a show, maybe, where I do just that. There's such, I mean, if obviously there's money in it. I mean, I'm a man of entrepreneurial spirit, you know. I think there might be a there.
Tragic. But the real part that everyone should be concerned about.
Okay, that's not real. Okay, thanks for admitting all your shit was just made up. But the real part everybody should be, because honestly, what I just said, I know the numbers and I know 8-year-old girl and 67 and border and something and the word sex. Like I've heard all those in a bunch of other conversations, and in my gelatinous, spongy brain, I formed them into sort of these weird anecdotal horror stories in my head. But it was not real. The real thing was
how the Democrats, you know, they're really good at what they do.
Thanks for noticing. It's really sweet. Yeah. That CHIPS Act was something else, wasn't it? How about that American Rescue Plan? How about the Inflation Reduction Act? If you'll notice, it's working. Boy, and that infrastructure bill, that's just getting started. Those projects are just starting to break ground, and a lot of them are going to hit the zenith of their payday for the people who are working on them right about the time Donald Trump's going to be running on the idea that America is a giant gaping butthole and it's sucking itself. I guess Way to go, Democrats. It's almost like you think ahead. It's almost like you, I don't know, want to govern.
And Benny Thompson is skilled.
Yes, he is. He's got mad skills. Unlike your flappy head.
He's very skilled because he used his committee chairmanship as the minority ranking member on the Homeland Committee to pretend to be outraged and try to strike down my words.
No, everybody hates your guts. Even the Republicans on that committee are like, fuck her, what the hell?
Luckily, that time the Republicans on the committee held the line, and we had to have an actual vote to keep my words in place. Thankfully, Republicans had courage on that occasion to stand up to the woke mob on
the woke mob. Were they all there? Did Mayorkas bring them? Probably across the border. It's like a woke mob of 8-year-old sex trafficking victims and their 67 beings that they carry with them that get a voice. Oh, God.
on the Democrat side of Homeland Security Committee. But it didn't work out that way after all. But let me explain.
Huh. It didn't? So it worked, but it didn't work. Interesting.
Explain to you why the Republicans held the line. This is
Yeah, tell us why. Because you just told us they were a bunch of assholes who can't do anything right, and Democrats kick ass and know the rules and know how to use them. But why did they held the line, and then the line didn't hold?
very important to know because it is a fact that Eric Swalwell had a sexual relationship
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
with a Chinese spy.
No, it isn't. It's an allegation by Tucker Carlson from somebody he heard it from in the Republican Party. It's more than likely her.
And because of that reason,
That's not a reason.
that is why our speaker, Kevin McCarthy, kicked him off of the Intelligence Committee.
No, he didn't kick him off for having sex with her. They don't know that he had sex with her. They have no evidence that he had sex with her. They used the belief that he did to kick him off.
And would not allow him to serve. Now, what should bother you even more so?
I should be bothered by the fact that he got kicked off because of a rumor? Well, I kind of am. You're right. I don't think that's what you want, but okay.
Is it Nancy Pelosi
What?
last Congress
Last Congress? Oh my God.
as Speaker of the House?
She was Speaker of the House? When did that happen?
She was briefed on the same information, and she allowed him to stay on the Intelligence Committee.
That's interesting. Probably because it didn't have any evidence that he fucked the girl, that she was a bundler and trying to get close to him. And when the FBI said, hey, she's a spy, they cut ties with her like you're supposed to do. Unlike, I suppose, Anna de Rothschild, who was at Mar-a-Lago during a time when there were the fruits of crime.
Let's hear from Kevin McCarthy right now.
You said you're going to let Democrats appoint their own members to the committee, but you've also indicated you're not going to let them.
I was very clear early on. Let me phrase something very direct to you.
Let me put this in as grotesque a terms.
If you got the briefing I got from the FBI, you wouldn't have Swalwell on any committee. And you're going to tell me other Democrats couldn't fill that slot? He cannot get a security clearance in the private sector.
Yes, he can.
So would you like to get...
Donald Trump can't get it. That, first of all, a security clearance in the private sector? You mean he wouldn't get top secret clearance from Goldman Sachs?
Give him a government clearance?
Yes.
You asked me questions about Santos. You asked the questions about Swalwell?
Uh-huh.
Not only was he getting a clearance, he was inside an intel committee.
Yes. Did any of the information from that committee ever get anywhere that was tied to information that he knew, and in a timely fashion, his period of time where she was bundling for his fucking campaign as a city councilman first?
He had more information than the majority of all the members.
Yeah, he still does, because you don't write anything down and you don't do your homework.
Did you ever raise that issue?
Well, it wasn't an issue. I mean, sorry, we were too busy dealing with the fact that Trump had Sergei Lavrov and other dumpy Russians in the fucking Oval Office, and multiple spies died afterwards.
No, but you should have. You're going to tell me there's 200 other Democrats that couldn't fill that slot?
Yes, that they couldn't find somebody that wants to do it has the will to do it, wants to do that work particularly, and didn't fuck a Chinese spy. I'm sorry, that's the part that I guess every other Democrat had actually had sex with a Chinese spy. It was all the rage for a while.
But they kept him on it. The only way that they even knew it came forward is when they went to nominate him to the Intel Committee. And then the FBI came and told the leadership then, he's got a problem.
He's got a problem. He can't stop fucking Chinese spies. I mean, we warned him off once, and they didn't actually have sex with her. But I mean, how can you not? I myself have been watching nothing but Chinese spy porn all night, and it's hard to not. You can't stop once you start. It's like the Pringles of porn. Sorry, Lay's potato chips, I suppose, is the reference.
And they kept him on. That jeopardized all of us.
Speaker McCarthy is correct.
It's weird that so it jeopardized all of us, did it? And how? Seriously. If there is any information that they alleged got to her, like that he blabbed over dinner the way Trump did at Mar-a-Lago, reading and looking at classified intel with world leaders within, eye shot and earshot of regular members.
Correct. That jeopardizes all of us.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Almost as much as AR-15s in the hands of lunatics.
When a member of Congress serves on the Intelligence Committee,
and they aren't actually intelligent, I think it's better. That's why they should have put me on there, because I think an ironic seating on that committee would do us all a world of good. And the important thing is
they're privy to information that the rest of Congress does not know. And here is...
Yeah, but not because they don't actually know the information, is because they work on it. Because the Intel Committee briefs everyone else.
As Eric Swalwell, with 5 minutes to question Secretary Mayorkas, and he chooses to make it about political attacks against President Trump and myself.
Oh, it hurts. It's almost as bad as using a third of your goddamn podcast to whine about it.
Eric Swalwell, serving on the Intelligence Committee, I'm sure had information about the dangers at the southern border.
Well, he doesn't anymore because
he knows about.
He's not on because it's changed. Obviously, the border is a fluid situation. Do you want to hear his thoughts on the border in, I don't know, during the Obama administration?
Terrorists that have come across
when it was fine
across the border. He knows about terrorists that are known gotaways. He knows about the human trafficking. He knows about the danger of the cartels.
Yeah, we all read the paper, ma'am.
He knows this true national security crisis for America because of the failures of...
Oh! Because of the failures.
Secretary Mayorkas. But Eric Swalwell decided to play politics.
Oh, my God. I don't know that game. So he played politics? Is that anything like patty cake, but with other body parts? Come on.
And then when I called him out and pointed to the obvious truth that endangers all of America.
Yes, absolutely. We're all afraid that he was fucking a Chinese spy, which he wasn't, during a time when he was just becoming a freshman member of Congress. And he found out about it and cut ties. I would be more concerned about the ones we don't know about. I don't know, candidates who've gotten a lot of NRA funding when we know for a fact that through Maria Butina and others, the Russians flooded the U.S. political system with money through the NRA. We know this. It's a fact. That would concern me. Especially considering how close everyone remains with the NRA on one particular side of the aisle.
When we have a United States member of Congress that is compromised by China because he couldn't keep it in his pants and he had a sexual relationship.
Well, again, if let's just play devil's advocate. Let's say, if we would, that that Swalwell was actually having sex with a Chinese spy. Perhaps he was using the Biden system, wherein China apparently pays him a bunch of money, and in return for that, they get fucked. Maybe it was just good old-fashioned prostitution at this point, because they're not getting anything helpful out of it.
With a Chinese spy, I'm the one that they want to come after. I'm the one they want to strike down my words.
No, they didn't start their day that way, ugly, awful, disgusting woman. You responded in a childish and quite frankly fraudulent way.
Here is the very serious situation that
It's very serious.
everyone needs to consider.
All right, everything. Okay, all that shit I said before. That's the real. This is the real. This is the really real.
Why aren't the Democrats upset?
Yes, that's the thing. Why won't we get upset? Guys, what? Trolling used to work on us. What happened? Shouldn't we be upset? Shouldn't this be upsetting? I don't know. It's fine. She gets silenced for the rest of the committee meeting by Republicans who run it. And why aren't we upset? Why aren't you upset? Everybody in the chat room right now, get upset. Because it's upsetting. Marge.
With their own colleague, Eric Swalwell, for his sexual relationship with a Chinese spy.
Alleged.
What country do they care about and what country do they serve if they are not offended at his own actions?
Well, I mean, we don't know what kind of actions he took or whatever. Was he a gentle lover or was it a pump and dump or, a run and gun? What happened? I mean, honestly, I would hope that while he was, obviously, I want to thank Eric Swalwell for attempting to turn a Chinese spy into a double agent in the old-fashioned Bond tradition. I appreciate him taking one for the team or throwing one for the team or, I don't know, T-balling one for the team. It's hard to say. I guess you're only taking one for the team if it wasn't fun. So I hope it was fun for both parties. But anyways, I think it's true that we should just ultimately go. I want to salute Eric Swalwell for attempting to turn a Chinese spy into a double agent using only one appendage. And I'm sorry that he was unable to do it. I guess she was made of tougher stuff. She was too committed to the other side and had to, but he broke her heart and she had to go back to China. It was sad. This is so stupid.
His sexual relationship with a Chinese spy.
So there was a sexual, you're saying sex and Chinese spy a lot. Is there something you're trying to say? I'm really not gathering.
But yet they're outraged and
at how disgusting you are?
Offended
at how awful you
that
are?
I dare speak the truth about it while
or just lie, I suppose.
We're on the Homeland Committee. That's the question everyone should be asking themselves, not how dare Marjorie Taylor Greene tell the truth.
Yeah, that no one ever says that. No one is ever outraged because you're too truthful.
If you want to think about what a threat China is, watch this next video.
Okay, here it is. China threat. Good. Right in my wheelhouse. Let's do this. Oh, dear. I thought this was going to be a news clip.
Investment by Chinese companies in the U.S. is now at a record high and growing. Another foreign deal causing chatter, if not national security.
China.
Smithfield, agreeing to be acquired by China's Swalwell International for $34.
Chinese company today offering nearly $5 billion.
It would be the largest Chinese takeover of any American company.
Questions are being raised about why China wants our bits.
Yes, news stories concerned about China's influence. Meanwhile, mixed with it's a statue of the Statue of Liberty. It's a mini with plants growing over it because I guess this is China is the fungus in The Last of Us.
It's so fun that they're just buying some pigs, but really they're buying agricultural production here. Are you worried about it as a national security issue?
Yes, 2013 when Yes.
Its definition of national security should include how a country feeds itself.
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man.
China is a direct threat.
Oh, look at this. Oh, they're mocking Biden for saying China's going to eat our lunch. Come on, man. He knows what he's talking about. I'll get to that in just a moment. But she's like, you don't understand. China's like all smarter than us and stuff, and they got all this stuff, and they're going to take all our stuff, and then we're going to be nuts, and then we're going to have nothing left.
To our entire existence.
China's waging a soft war.
Very soft. Yes, it's kind of like somebody trying to unclog a drain with a Vienna sausage.
Against the United States across almost every front.
Across almost every front. If every front is mild propaganda and some economic pressure.
Chinese companies now buying massive amounts of American land, farms, and cattle ranches.
We got the CCP buying up farmland. What are they doing with it?
Is China doing that to spy on the U.S. military?
They are buying.
Is China the reason why you have a teeny little television set sitting on a wet floor with a neon light over it, or a fluorescent light over it, and some wires hanging in the foreground in your ad, as opposed to simply showing the clips full frame? What do I know? This is art.
Buying up access to be able to surround American military facilities.
All told, China has either purchased land, installed telecommunications equipment near 4 U.S.
present day
Air Force bases.
And they're known, adversaries of the United States. So
yep, but they know adversaries. Sarah Carter talks with Oklahoma rancher about the Chinese buying up rural land in Oklahoma.
how are we allowing that to happen?
It also impacts the very security of our food.
Food security is national security.
And it's something that needs to
I like this one because it's a bunch of shots of me just kind of piping in.
be taken seriously.
China is embedded in the United States.
Oh my God, they're everywhere. I don't know if you know this. You can get it's so bad you can get Chinese food almost anywhere.
China didn't just one day magically overtake us.
No, of course not. Say they had to wait for Trump to sign his trade deal, didn't he? Didn't they?
Our leaders made that possible. They abetted it. They profited from it. They betrayed
Democratic
present day.
Congressman Eric Swalwell, who sits on the House Intel Committee, has ties to a Chinese spy.
Are you concerned
Is that the new sexual euphemism? Where were you? Were you having sex? No, I don't have sex with. I have ties. She ties me up, and then sometimes I tie her up. We have ties. It's just,
you shared any information with this person before you were notified by the FBI?
Well, I know that I didn't.
It's sad, but Swalwell
I know that I didn't.
still serves with distinction.
It's weird editing.
He's the only elected official in Washington we can say with confidence has had sex with a Chinese spy.
The staffer for Senator Dianne Feinstein turned out to be a Chinese spy.
Wait, did Swalwell fuck that guy too? Dear God.
Reporting back about
I don't know. There must be, I don't know, whatever the Chinese spies are doing. They're doing it right.
Local politics. The Chinese spy was Feinstein's driver.
Really? He knew everywhere she was going. As long as she told him the address and he could put it in the GPS.
Who also served as a gopher in the
Oh my God. Chinese gophers. It's attacking the Chinese gophers. I'm all right. All right.
the Bay Area office and was a liaison to the Asian American community.
Of course he was. There's no such thing as a Chinese spy that isn't a liaison to the Asian American community.
He even attended Chinese consulate functions.
Yes, obviously. Where do you think he's supposed to drop off the GPS data for Dianne Feinstein's social calendar?
For the senator.
What we should be standing together on is we should be standing against China.
That's from her on Tim Pool's thing.
We should be standing against globalism.
China's war on America. Something North 1664, like gibberish letters at the bottom of it, just for 39.90 hertz. North 16. Oh, I see. These are longitude and latitude numbers, north by east. So, who is she doxing? Oh my God, y'all, that was so good, and they cut that together. Like, my staff did that instead of writing a bill.
Well, after we got finished playing with the charades and the games with the Democrats, while they were so offended about me talking about Eric Swalwell,
sex with a Chinese spy,
known sexual relationship with a Chinese spy.
Jesus Christ! Like, did they have a bet with her, like her podcast staff, or is that how they know when to edit? Anytime I say sex with a Chinese spy, y'all cut like push in and then pull out.
I finally got to have my time back, and I had about 4 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock where I could keep asking questions and interviewing the failed Secretary Mayorkas about his failed policies that are endangering America.
But are they failed, and was there sex with a Chinese spy at the failure?
And I got into the questions, and one of the things I was talking about was the poison fentanyl that is coming from China. We know
no, the precursors are coming from China. They are made in Mexico. It's the inversion of the assembly structure.
Fact, it's coming from China. Eric Swalwell even knows it's coming from China.
Of course he does. He was fucking a Chinese spy. You don't think she tells him stuff too? I mean, how do you what's the point of even, it's got to be a two-way street. Wait a minute, she was telling him secrets? God damn it, he's got mojo.
It's coming from China directly.
That's it. Eric Swalwell is the Austin Powers of the Democratic Party. There, I said it.
Into Mexico, and the cartels are lacing drugs and trafficking these drugs into the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Part of my testimony is I was talking about how
Your testimony? You were a witness, were you?
300 Americans are being murdered and poisoned every single day.
In that order?
By Chinese.
Why would you poison someone after they're dead? These people are cruel.
Fentanyl coming across our border.
By the way, these are all serious issues, but she is an inserious person, so I will not be caught up in her outrage Olympics. Fuck that noise. I'm making fun of her, not the topics, for anybody who's checking later. And if you have an issue with that, piss off.
Through the cartels, drug trafficking, and human trafficking.
And I see. So drugs aren't humans like corporations are? I see.
These are very serious issues. And no American who is paying taxes wants our country
so leave Trump out of this?
invaded daily by poisonous drugs.
Yes. Anybody who doesn't pay taxes is hoping the whole country is invaded with drugs.
And by dangerous criminals coming across our border.
Well, I mean, what's the big deal if they're not dangerous? Where's the excitement in that? I mean,
selling these drugs not only to adults, but especially to children.
It's especially a concern, or they're aiming at selling it to children.
And I was talking to Secretary Mayorkas about
She was talking
rainbow fentanyl. And
rainbow fentanyl. Gay.
And I was explaining to him
how rainbow fentanyl turns you into a transer, and that makes it even worse than a death. When somebody, they could die.
How his failed policies is so dangerous to children in schools now
that they're having to add colors to fentanyl to make it exciting. When Donald Trump was in office, they could sell just good old-fashioned shitty white pills. But now that Biden's in office, everything's got rainbows all over it. So every day is Pride Day, I guess.
Now, that every single school in the United States is...
What was that little laugh? Hold on. Back the fuck up. Wait, what? Why does she laugh on the word
And
school?
I was explaining to him how his failed policies is so dangerous to children in schools now.
How dangerous is it?
That every single school in the United States is having to keep Narcan on the school property because kids are being poisoned while they're at school using drugs.
I'm gonna go with the kindergarten and the elementary schools, and most of the middle schools are clear. They're gonna have some because it's the Department of Health and Human Resources and the Education Department and the CDC and the NIH often will say that any federal or state government building should have some on hand in case somebody is ODing in a car or some shit like that nearby, and somebody's like, anybody got any Narcan? Also, they have a barrage of the injectables just in case somebody has an a reaction to peanuts, and he kind of, so they got a whole kit. They have a just in case break glass kind of kit at all these schools, and
laced with Chinese fentanyl.
Laced with Chinese fentanyl, and not good old American fentanyl.
And so you can take a look. As I was talking to Secretary Mayorkas about this issue, here's what happened next.
Congresswoman, let me assure you that we're not letting it go on. We are fighting this.
No, I reclaim my time. You're a liar.
Yeah, okay. This is the other thing. You're a liar. You're not doing it. You're part of the cartels. You're helping everybody. You want Chinese fentanyl to kill our elementary school kids. And that's...
You are letting this go on, and the numbers prove it. You can't lie about the facts, Secretary.
Also, a higher volume of stuff crossing the border isn't necessarily a direct evidence that they're letting more across. First of all, they're catching more of this shit than they ever did during the Trump administration. And secondly, there's a rise in that drug worldwide from a time when it wasn't part of the conversation, wasn't a measurable element in the drug trade, to now when it's a much higher one worldwide. So it's going up anyways. He's not responsible for that part. He's responsible for stopping as much of it as he possibly can within the limits of our Constitution, which obviously she doesn't give a shit about.
Secretary Mayorkas, while you live in denial and sit over there with this attitude that you're doing everything right, you are killing Americans with your policies.
You are killing Americans with your policies. And at least she's excited to get to the bottom of what the actual issue is with stuff crossing the border, like how much is crossing the border and how to remedy it, as opposed to just yelling weird shit at somebody in the other party.
And that is a fact. Your
Yeah, again, she's very confused about what facts are. It seems
policies.
It's almost like she was born for QAnon.
Are killing people, over 300 Americans a day, over 300, and it's outrageous. Let me ask you another.
Outrageous. She knows she's lying. That's how you know. She used the magic word. She said outrageous. Yeah, her charges are bullshit, and she knows it.
Other question.
Ms.
We
Sam,
talk about
Ms. Sam, the ranking members recognized.
You know, we can disagree, but just the fact that we have people watching, you don't have to call a witness a liar. There's a way that we ought to conduct ourselves. And what I'm hearing...
Yes, especially when he's not lying. I would say that's kind of crucial to the argument, but she cut the middle part out.
Is not how a majority of this committee conducts business, and we can do better. So I asked that the words be taken down.
Chair asked the gentlelady if
she wants to retract her words for the second time today.
She wishes to seek unanimous consent to modify or withdraw her remarks.
Hell no, I don't. He's fucking liar up there and that thing do.
I will not withdraw my remarks because the facts show the proof.
So the facts show the proof. And the facts are my allegations. So
in making a ruling on this, it's pretty clear that the rules state you can't impugn someone's character. Identifying or calling someone a liar is unacceptable in this committee. And I make the ruling that we strike those words.
Mm-hmm. This is the face of a man who's had it up to here with her bullshit.
So as you can see, what happened after I called Secretary Mayorkas a liar is Benny Thompson basically took control.
He took control because he brought up the rules that you agree to operate under when you take a committee seat. Nobody says you have to be on a fucking committee. You can watch these hearings and then go to the floor and talk shit kind of all you want from the well and enter your bullshit into the record that way. But haranguing witnesses is, what's the word I'm looking for? Counterproductive, especially when you're lying.
And he beat our chairman, Mark Green.
He beat him. Oh my God. That's got to be a violation of the rules. That has to be.
He did.
Oh my God. With his own gavel? I hope the handle didn't break off.
And that is the most unfortunate thing.
No. Looking at you, ma'am, I think I can think of a lot more unfortunate things
that happened on the committee yesterday. Benny Thompson, who, let me remind everyone about Benny Thompson. Benny Thompson has spent the past 2 years as chairman of the January 6th committee calling our Republicans.
Calling our Republicans.
Insurrectionists.
Nope. Specifically, the January 6th committee was talking about Jan 6ers, and specifically the ones that charged up into the fucking Capitol and attacked police officers and members of Congress and were intending to hang the vice president. He never seems to bring up the rest of you assholes.
Terrorists, traitors, racists.
No, I mean, I can understand why you start to take it personally when those characteristics are called out in other people. You just know they apply to you as well. So
anti-Semites in every name.
Anti-Semites and every name
you could possibly think of.
I don't know about that. I can think of some names that he's just frankly not going to call them. And I wouldn't call him that either. I mean, I think I'm blushing just even. I just don't think he's going to call any, the cum dumpsters, for example. I don't know why that comes to mind. I just don't think it's gonna, you know what I mean? Like, if we're really gonna go anything.
Not only myself
yeah, douche nugget, that's not gonna come up, obviously.
Included, but all of my Republican colleagues.
Dingleberries.
President Trump.
Creeptastic. It just doesn't seem, yes, Yosemites.
His administration, and people that voted for President Trump.
No, it wasn't the voting part that he had a problem with. It was the, hey, I voted, my guy lost, so fuck you.
For president. Any person that was there at the Capitol that day, Benny Thompson has called insurrectionists, traitors.
No. Some of the Republicans that were there that were just doing their job, like, I don't know, Mike Pence, he hasn't called them that. Just the people that attacked the place and those that may or may not have collaborated with them.
Terrorist.
Well, I mean, obviously we still have to find out who lumbered around behind the Capitol, went to the RNC and DNC headquarters and dropped off pipe bombs. That's we still got to find that out.
MAGA terrorists, all kinds of
maggots. We don't do MAGA terrorists. We don't even have to make that. Just maggot works.
Names. And he did that from his chairmanship. And he abused the power of the Committee of Congress, the
Committee of Congress
6th committee. But yet
he abused the power of it? How? Did he send a sergeant at arms to arrest people? Did he overstep his bounds? Did they not finish the committee work and then offer a referral of criminal charges to the DOJ for them to follow on with it? Like, this is so stupid.
He says, wait.
Wait. What are y'all talking about? I can't yell liar at him.
People are watching this committee. They can't see her call the secretary a liar. What a joke.
You guys done? I'm done. Because she's just going to say the same shit for another 10 minutes.